There are two models that examine the role of stress in relation to our health. One is the Physiological Reactivity model, which attempts to explain the causal role of stress-related bodily changes in illness. The second model is called the health behavior approach. Here, the explanation for illness or health is focused on the role of behaviors such as diet, exercise, and substance abuse. We already discussed how diet, exercise, and substance abuse are ways of coping with stress, so we won't say much more about the health behavior approach. However, let's talk about the physiological reactivity model. So let's take this example. Let's say you walk into class and the professor says, "Put your books away, take out a piece of paper, we're having a test." Hearing this statement from your professor may cause stress. The fact that you're not prepared for the pop quiz results in a stressful response. However, if you have read the material and studied, hearing the professor say, "Put your notes away," and get out a sheet of paper may not result in a stressful response. So here we have an event, which is the pop quiz, and then your appraisal of the situation. And this is what's really important here. You may appraise a situation in a positive and beneficial way, which produces positive emotions. However, on the other hand, you may see the situation as negative or even potentially threatening, and that produces negative emotions. From here, the negative emotion causes the stress response, which you can recall is the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. However, prolonged exposure to the stressful situation causes extended release of cortisol and sustained activation of the sympathetic nervous system, which in turn weakens the body. As we discussed earlier, the body is negatively affected by the suppression of the immune system, which increases our susceptibility to illness. Now, one factor we did not discuss was that prolonged exposure to activation of the sympathetic nervous system also has negative consequences on our cardiovascular health.